My name's Kamala, and I've been working with the Edinburgh Easter Play for the last 15 years. My background's actually screenwriting. I don't have a theatre background, so I'm hoping people don't ask me tricky theatre questions today. But I think the screenplay format lends itself quite well to Passion Play because you can move from scene to scene. So that's helped me a little bit. So first of all, we're going to have a very quick look at basics. If you've got a pen, feel free to take notes, and I've given you this handout and you can write on the back of it, write all over it, whatever you would like to do. I'm sort of thinking it's quite ironic, the first thing that I've written, which is stick to the script after listening to Helen's chat there. But I think what I mean by that is, if in doubt, stick to the script. Because we've been given 4 different versions of a script. And, really, if you stick to that, you can't go wrong. It's about trying to find where you want to move away from that and where you want to go for different interpretations. So I've mentioned here about trying to pick out a few key characters, because probably if you've done a Passion Play, you're going to realise that really helps to bring the audience in, helps you to choose which scenes to focus on, and it helps the audience to kind of pick out somebody to follow as well. We've got 4 tools, and the first tool that I'm going to mention is research. The first tool in writing a Passion Play is research. Every good script starts with good research. How many of you guys spent time doing research, or have you just got straight into the script, somebody else's script, or have you had to do a bit of research yourself?
I've written my own scripts that I did,
Yeah. Okay, so you can get timelines online, find out about the events, what happened at which time, but I think the most important thing is to get to know the stories yourself, because you'll find even online resources have a bias to them. Somebody might have just been looking at it from a certain point of view, and the best thing for you is to really get to know those stories and characters yourself. So we're going to use the power of the collective and do some research on a few of the characters from the Passion story and use this as a starting point for a writing exercise. So if you can just all grab a Bible, please. And I'm going to give half the room Peter and Mary Magdalene, and the other half Pilate and Judas. So I think if this half you do Peter and Mary Magdalene, and this half do Pilate and Judas. So if you just take those 2 characters and feed back to each other as much as you know about those 2 characters. It can be something from the Bible, something from your memory, anything you know about those characters. And I've got a few questions written down for you to consider. How old are they roughly? How are they viewed by society, their position in society? What might their personality have been? Family, cultural background, and what was their involvement in the Passion story? So yeah, work in your pairs and chat to each other about what you know about these two characters. Okay, so hopefully between the lot of you, you'll have looked at each of those characters. So quickly to move on to the next tool, from research, the most important stage of script writing, we're going to move on to reflect. So once we've researched our story, possibly time, place, and characters, it just helps to sit down and spend some time in these places with these people in our imagination. So I want you to take one of these characters, Peter, Mary Magdalene, Judas, or Pilate, and think about meeting them on Good Friday. So I'm going to give you a choice of the moment that you meet them. It can either be the morning of Good Friday or early afternoon before Jesus is crucified, or Good Friday late afternoon just after he's been crucified, or Friday evening. Imagine you're someone close to them, a close friend, relative, maybe colleague, boss, husband or wife. And I want you to imagine meeting them and discussing what's happened or what's about to happen. Maybe you will have an argument, maybe empathize, be shocked or disturbed by what you hear. Think about what place you might be in, a busy marketplace or a quiet courtyard. What might you say? How might you react? And what are they doing and saying? If it helps you, you can close your eyes, or you might just like to write down some notes. It's actually on the second page, and there's some little notes about what to think about. So just take 5 minutes to do that. Is everyone clear about that?
Are we just doing that separately?
Yeah, do by yourself, yeah. So we're going to have a go at writing this down. we're going to try and write it in a little script format, which will be easy for some of you, and others you'll be a little bit worried about doing this. But on the next page, which is page 3, I've given you an example. So basically you would write, for example, scene 1, the name of the place and the time of day, morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Then you can write just a very short sentence set in the scene. It could be something like a busy, dusty marketplace in Jerusalem, or a quiet cottage on the shore of Lake Galilee. Don't stress over the wording, just keep it simple. Then I want you to write the dialogue in script format. So it should be a character's name in capital letters, followed by a colon. But because we're pushed for time, just write the initials of the character. And we're going to go for speed. So it will be your name and the person's name. And we're going to have to do this as quickly as we can. Don't worry too much about what's happening in the action. If there's a really important action, like somebody hits somebody, or somebody bursts out crying, you can write that in. But otherwise, just go for the dialogue. And it's just about having a go. There's no right and no wrong. So, right, we're just going to stop there. From what you've written, if you just want to chat to the person that you were in the little group with and just say about anything in particular that stood out from you from doing that imagination exercise and going into writing it, was there a particular thing that stuck out that either you've already written or you're about to get to writing it? So just have a quick chat to the person beside you about what you've done. How did everybody find that? Would you like to carry on doing more of that, do you think, when you go home?
Yeah, really good that.
Good. So the last 2 exercises, I'm going to give you these to do at home. Rewriting, a passion play is about rewriting somebody else's work. So even if you take 2 different stories from 2 different gospels, you're rewriting. And it's an important job. We respect the source material for its theology and history, but we want to create an entertaining play that works for the setting and group of actors we've got. So the next exercise was to work on rewriting a very short scene in the script format. And following on from that, it was to develop a monologue. So I think there's enough notes for you to try and do these 2 things at home. Yeah, just to say thank you for coming. I hope you feel really encouraged to keep working on bringing this powerful story to a new audience. Have a go yourselves.